It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors, beware as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And you don't need money. Don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it just might save your life. That's the power of
love.
No, that's the power of the merman.
That's true.
Hey, Murray.
So you're just going to serenade me with all my favorite 80s tunes
That's
now? Is
right.
That's the point?
That's right.
All right, then.
So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
There's only one power I like, and that's the power of Merman. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And you know what? We will. Now, let's get to raging. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
You know what's missing here?
There's no dancing this.
There's no dancing this week. It's Footloose this week, baby.
Footloose
all cinema, all
at
the time.
cinemas.
All cinema, all the time. And I have a prediction. I have a feeling we will be 100% unanimous about this movie.
Really?
I am absolutely guessing that.
Really?
Yes.
100% unanimous.
100% unanimous.
I changed my mind on it, you know.
Did you now?
Okay.
I started with one rating and then I was like, what am I thinking?
Okay, let's have it.
All right, the movie we're talking about is called Morbius. Morbius.
Oh, wait a minute. It's a superhero movie.
Morbius.
Doesn't that mean it's going to be a meh?
I guess we'll find out in a couple minutes
I
here,
believe
Jim.
in your case, it starts at a man.
No, it's always a meh. For me, it always starts at a rage. But let's get back to Bryce. What did we see? Morbius?
We saw Morbius.
Morbius?
Yes.
Okay.
Morbius is the story of a biochemist who cures his rare blood disease by essentially becoming a vampire? Huh? Kind of living
I think it's a vampire
though.
bat, isn't it?
He's vampire adjacent.
He's a human vampire.
Ah,
Because he's living, I think. He's not
I think
dead.
it's safe to say he sucks.
He's not undead. No, he's not.
The most amazing thing about this movie is that the entire story revolves around this unquenchable thirst for blood, and yet there's almost no blood in this tale. This falls into the same category as Venom, in that the concept is great, but the execution is not. This is a more dark tale that should play to a more adult audience, just like Venom. It gets watered down to the point of frustration. This was perfectly cast with Jared Leto as Dr. Michael Morbius and Matt Smith as Milo. And they did all they could with this made-for-teens script that they were forced to execute. But this could have been so much better in an 18A environment. There are scenes where throats are slashed and flesh is sliced and somehow there's no blood. The violence is very tame and it takes away from the intensity that should permeate throughout. And what is with the purple wavy streaks when Morbius is flying around the city? they look kind of silly.
Yeah. CGI.
Not just purple. Whatever
Oh.
he's wearing.
And don't forget about the CGI bats
Oh, yes.
that looked bad, and then for some reason they showed them in slow motion that made them look even worse. This could have been the first Marvel Universe horror film, but instead it was another disappointing effort considering the talented cast and the intriguing main characters. Still, I like Jared Leto and Smith's performances. I just wish I wasn't rolling my eyes during every blood-free, over-CGI'd action sequence. The fact that they were unable to come even close to making the film that this could have been makes Morbius a frustrating rage.
Oh. Who could have predicted this would be a rage?
Predicted that.
I don't know. What do you think, Murray? Do you think I could predict this right, or should I go next and tell you what happens?
According to this, you're going next.
All right. Well, how about I go next?
I have a lot to say, which comic book fans may actually understand.
Okay. Well, would you care to go next
No,
then?
you go ahead.
All right. Well, from pretty much moment one, the science, logic, and pretty much everything in this movie was contrived, nonsensical, and annoying.
Yeah, it's a comic book.
I love Jared Leto, but even he in this was painful to watch.
Nah, he was
I
fine.
can't even pretend I liked anything in this film. From pretty much the very beginning, in the scene where Morbius gives Milo his name, then their doctor starts calling him Milo. Made no sense
For the next
whatsoever.
20 years.
There's
fine.
never been a situation ever where a doctor who is supposed to be a professional will start nicknaming people from another kid calling him Milo.
God.
It made no sense. He introduces him as Lucius, and then the next thing you know, the doctor's fucking calling him Milo. From that moment on, I was like, this is already stupid. This started, and then everything in this film seemed rushed to get through the stupidest origin story any comic could have made up. Plus, the love interest to science fiction gibberish, to the BFFs that turn on each other in a second, to the story that appears to be written for, I'm guessing, idiots with severe mental capabilities, or maybe just mental issues. I don't know. Or maybe as a form of torture to make prisoners watch while they are confined to solitary confinement to completely make them feel true torture. Yes, I have to admit, I know I've said superheroes started a rage before they even start, but this was beyond anything I could ever imagine. Please, Marvel gods, or Satan,
This would be
I
Sony.
beg you, do not, whatever you do, please do not make another Morbius movie. If you do, I may not survive it.
I thought
So far, the superhero craze of this year is still delivering exactly what I predicted it would be. Nothing original, completely formulaic, drivel. And I can't believe Marvel allowed their names to be on this film. Thanks, Sony. On top of all this, it was, in my opinion, the worst character development in a film I think I may have ever seen. It was like completely idiotic.
I thought I
This
didn't
was,
like
oh, by the
this.
way, this was a rage.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't like it, but apparently,
No,
apparently
this-
I'm not even close to you. Like,
Oh,
it's it's a rage.
This
but I
was
thought-
so completely like
I
I didn't
found
even
a couple things
I didn't
I
even
liked in it.
think Jared Leto was
I thought Jared Leto was fine.
his acting was no. I mean, no. There was
yeah.
scenes where it was just like, what is happening right now?
Nah, he was fine.
It was no. It was he was not. I was not in love with him.
What does Merman think?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
And I'm glad you're gonna tell.
Two things I love in my movies. Superheroes
And sex.
vampires.
Oh, sorry. And sex? Is there three things?
There wasn't any sex in this movie.
I know, but don't you love those?
Well, yeah. but
Okay.
As long as they're involved with one of the first two.
Okay.
So this film should have been a slam
Superheroes
dunk.
having sex with vampires?
Yes.
or with themselves, whatever. So this film should have been a slam dunk for me. Plus, Jared Leto, who never disappoints.
He's mesmerizing.
Except for that terrible Joker, which there's no excuse for.
I like Gangster Joker.
Oh, he's terrible. Sony's Spider-Man universe, however, is quickly becoming a huge disappointment and a poor attempt to ride the coattails of the Marvel Universe. While the two Venom films are fun, breezy films that don't take themselves too seriously,
But should.
Morbius takes everything way too seriously, resulting in a generic, uninteresting, and in some cases, appalling movie. This film is so predictable that any uninterested viewer can guess the journeys of every character in this story, and there are practically no surprises.
Not one. Zero. Negative.
Once Morbius goes through the transformation and develops superhuman abilities, his motivation's a little fuzzy, and the story becomes aimless and poorly paced.
Yeah. What story?
Leto gives,
Sorry, yeah, what was the story?
Leto gives a moderately solid performance as Morbius.
He's just trying to survive.
Like, he was not the problem. Unfortunately, his character is not very interesting to begin with.
Nope.
One of the highlights of the movie for me was former Doctor Who Matt Smith, who gets to chew up the scenery and command the screen as Milo, and he is the most fascinating character in the film. Then again, most villains are. I was really psyched to see Michael Keaton's Vulture return. Turns out he has nothing to do with the film, other than two really confusing credit scenes.
Yeah.
Much as I love superhero films, and even the last Spider-Man film, this one was a big blood-sucking rage.
Yes! Jim predicts the future. You hit it, Mur.
Rage! Rage! Rage!
Ugh, this movie, no story, no character
disappointing.
development. It was like they rushed every single scene to get to some point of end point.
And
It was like, here's the beginning, and
the whole thing
we
felt rushed.
It was like,
did.
here's the beginning and here's the end. Now let's just throw a whole bunch of shit in there, throw some CGI bats. Like even the scene where he goes to get blood sucked from the bats made zero. Like it was like, okay, whatever, okay. It was like,
And
is this influenced by Spider? Oh wait, it's in the same
and
universe
these
as
CGI
Spider-Man.
vampire bats that are in his lab spend 24/7 flying around.
Yeah.
They never land, never hang upside,
Yeah,
never,
it's like
never
there's
sleep.
no-
And apparently
He's
they never
torturing
get
these
fed
bats.
either. Like they live on blood. Who the hell's feeding them?
Yeah. And wait, to your point, Marie, there's not anything for them to hang on to.
Yeah.
Are they just there for decoration?
Just flying
Or maybe
24/7.
he was a scientist. Maybe he just created like a lava lamp.
Zombie bats
but
that
with,
never have to
with
rest?
bats that are like CGI. That's
Sure.
probably why they looked so bad. He wasn't a very good scientist.
No, he wasn't.
He's a genius.
So he created CGI bats that fly around just to
cured
keep him.
Not-
whatever
nonstop.
mysterious disease he had
Did he cure it?
with vampire
really
bats.
didn't.
He didn't, and his fake blood was bad.
Yeah.
Apparently, it couldn't help him.
Dude,
Yeah.
the fake blood it helped the world.
It didn't help anything, and it didn't help this movie
you
for
mean
making us all cry with rage.
The blue
was
raspberry freezy.
You know what? We're not alone in this. I understand
No, we're
everybody
not.
hates this
Oh,
movie.
there is so much bad stuff on it about this movie. I think there's maybe 3 people in the whole universe who didn't hate it.
I just want to see a superhero movie this year that I'm not going to rage about, but I have a feeling that's not going to happen.
Well, there are 2 I'm looking forward to,
I'm not looking
involving
forward
2
to
of my
any
favorite
them.
actors,
Me neither. Oh, Benny's Cumberbund?
Benny's and Mr. Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Oh, Lily. Yeah, that's an important movie for our little buddy
Yes,
from
it is.
New Zealand. All right, well, we also got to see Umma.
Umma.
Umma. Korean American superstitions come to life after death through the eyes of our great Canadian icon, Sandra Oh.
Sandra Oh is a great Canadian icon.
Yes.
is.
I think you're overstating that.
No way. Everybody loves Sandra Oh.
She's not a great Canadian.
She's a
icon.
great Canadian
She
icon.
has a star on Canada's Walk of Fame.
She
Thank
does. There you go.
very
Thank
much.
you, Murray.
Yes, everybody's got a star on.
No,
the
No, not
everybody.
everybody. But suffice to say, she's my great Canadian icon.
She's a
Hey,
great ambassador to our country.
Speak for
That's
you
right.
guys.
She
not.
is.
She's really
you.
not.
You wash your mouth out.
Anyways,
You wash
let's
your
move
mouth
on.
out with soap, Mister. I hope it's vegan soap. I really love the original music and score, which brings us into the scary world of beekeeping.
Beekeeping. Yep.
with a really good build. Plus, the cinematography and dark atmosphere was creepy as well as super dark. Cause Sandra Oh don't use electricity. No, The story is a traditional type ghost film, though has all the tropes of jump scares, possessing, and of course, the always tasty ghost crackling, which appears now to be a staple in every ghost or demon film. You can't get away with watching a ghost film nowadays without some ghost crackling. It's like it happened. It's like, okay, we know what this movie's missing? Apparently ghost crackling. Acting by Sandra Oh, as always, was outstanding, as well was most of the cast, but there is nothing too original on this Americanized Korean tale. Next time, take the story to Korea, and maybe it will be better. Not too spooky, and maybe a little too long, or maybe, I'm just saying.
Did you just say a little too long?
Yeah, it was a little too long.
It was only 83 minutes.
I know, so it could have been 75 minutes, is what I'm saying.
75 minutes.
I got the best thing about it. Oh my God.
No, it needed to be shorter. There were some scenes in there that needed to come out.
Oh my God.
Or maybe.
It doesn't have to be a rage if it had to be shorter than 83 minutes.
No, could have been 74 minutes.
Oh my God.
Or maybe I was just done a little early in this movie.
Yeah.
It gets a very low meh.
Oh my God.
But I know because I like ghost stories. And I love Sandra Oh.
I thought you hated ghost stories.
No, he hates ghost stories.
He hates them.
I do hate ghost stories, and I'm not a big fan of Sandra Oh, so you know what I'm going to think, but Murray's first.
That's right. I'm up next. Well, to my surprise, there were actually other films opening last weekend besides Morbius.
What?
Films that I had never heard of,
Like
or knew
Umma.
anything about. Such was the case with Umma.
Umma.
It stars Canada's own Sandra Oh and the
Icon.
always solid Dermot Mulroney,
Not an icon.
which was good enough for me. Then I found out it was produced by Sam Raimi, my favoriteest horror director ever.
One of mine too.
Throw in a ghost story, bam! While I did enjoy the overall creepiness and the spooky factor of this film, it never really delivered on the scares, other than the one scene that actually did get a jump out of me.
It did.
It did.
It was so exciting.
Really?
As a drama, it was well done.
Must have missed
But
that.
it was PG horror at best. And as my good buddy Jim said to me, maybe if Sam Raimi had directed it, it may have been better. But it was just a non-scary meh.
There we go.
Wow, you guys are really, really generous. I don't got much to say about this. Umma was a ghost movie.
There you go. That's his review.
That's all you had to say.
It is a festival of haunted house tropes, and it has nothing original to offer. It was boring and derivative and wasted 1 hour and 23 minutes of my time. I would say the best thing about Umma is its short runtime, and the worst thing about Umma is everything else. This was a rage.
Nice. See, I thought the runtime was a little long for me.
Yeah, I can't believe you're saying an 83-minute runtime was a little long and this wasn't a rage. You, sir, are a liar. You've got your Sandra Oh goggles on
I
right
might
now.
have my Sandra
Because
Oh
there's no way. I can't believe you bring up the length of it. Oh, it seemed too long. It was 83 minutes, you wiener.
I can tell you one thing.
It felt longer.
I'm definitely wishing the other three movies we'd seen.
But
had all
it's
been
not a rage.
83 minutes.
I don't hate ghost
The
stories.
shortest movie we saw. No, I enjoyed
I
the
kind
ghost
of
story
like.
part.
I kind of like the whole Korean heritage that they brought into it, which I did a bit of research on. Is kind of a thing in some of their cultures. So I'm sorry. I feel like I'm Korean on the inside,
Yeah,
and I'm
take your
I'm
Sandra
Canadian
Oh
on the outside.
goggles off.
I can't. They're on permanently. See, they're actually the shape of Sandra Oh's face. They're
attached
in
to
my
his head.
eyes.
That's right.
I'm sorry. I love you, Sandra Oh.
Yes, we love Sandra.
I love her a lot.
All right. We also late night Monday
Night,
of us went to see You Won't Be Alone. Set in an isolated mountain village in 19th century Macedonia. Young girl is kidnapped as a baby and transformed into a witch by an ancient spirit who is basically a witch. The young witch accidentally kills a peasant in the nearby village and then takes her victim's shape to live out her life. That is about all I know about this film.
But you saw it.
That and Noomi Rapace is in it, briefly. 2 things. Subtitles. And we saw this film after 10 p.m. So no surprise, I fell asleep a couple times. I honestly think I wouldn't have liked it any better if I had seen every minute. It was slow. Had a soothing, peaceful musical score, which was very conducive to putting viewers to sleep, and had too many characters that I just couldn't follow. Plus, it was about farming in the 1800s.
Yes.
Yawn. Had some nice gory moments, but it was a mind-numbing meh.
There you have it. I'm actually surprised. You gave it a little bit more
juice. I didn't hate it
juice
as much as
that you thought it would be. All those subtitles, poor Murray. All right, Mr. Bryce.
You Won't Be Alone is a story of a girl who is transformed into a shape-shifting witch whose curiosity takes her on a journey where she takes the shape of any human or animal she pleases. As our witch takes on the shapes of various people, she learns about the human experience from a number of different points of view. She explores sexuality from various points of view, as well as some unforgettable scenes. Mm-hmm. Director Stolan
Say it loud, say it proud.
Director Stolan Stolevsky. Yes. Director Stolan Stolevsky. 3rd time's a charm, or was that the 4th? I don't know. 5th time, director Stolan Stolevsky delivers an exciting, dark, and original experience in his debut feature. Its visceral tone and amazing performances make it a film that should not be missed. This is a horrifying and beautiful film. You Won't Be Alone is Mondo.
Huh. What do you know? You Won't Be Alone is a Mondo.
It definitely was. It was fantastic.
Well, I'll wrap this present up with a nice bow. This film takes witchcraft to places it's never been.
Absolutely.
And will leave scenes in this in your mind for years to come. This film of innocence lost, redemption and loss is a strange visionary journey that Goran Stolovsky...
Stolan Stolevsky.
It's Goran.
Oh, it's Goran.
Yeah, there's no S.
Why
did
I put Stolan?
I don't know. It's Goran.
What is wrong with me?
Stolevsky.
I had the ST on my brain.
You've got S. Yeah, you've got an ST, all right.
On your brain.
It's got ST after watching this movie.
I'm sorry,
Sorry, Goran. Exactly.
Goran Stolevsky.
We love you. All right.
No wonder it sounded so weird coming out of
You know, I just love listening to it because you never make mistakes on.
Yeah, I'm having a week.
Annunciative.
Jim.
You're so annunciative.
I'm having a week.
Well, Goran takes us on.
It's like the
with
name
his
of my
very
first
film. Goran. I know.
Goran Ivanisevic.
I
love
know.
that guy. Ace.
And just like Goran, this Goran also knows how to serve. The soundtrack in this film is simple and repeats itself so much it does kind of annoy you by the time you reach the end. But the lack of music and the silence in this film are what helps to build the horror and feel of the tension and intrigue.
The silence is deafening.
The silence is very deafening.
Or in this case, put me to sleep.
Yeah. The acting is stellar, as is the effects, gore, and shock that this film delivers. From the sex kill scenes, and I say that plural because there's multiple sex kill scenes, to the group masturbation scene, along with learning of life through murder and possession, this film was very artistically
it's all
crafted,
about the human experience,
and almost poetic at times with its writing and conveyance of the story through silence and spoken word. It keeps you engaged as it delivers surprises and twists as the film weaves its way to the ultimate, unexpected, and possibly expected end. But when you finally get there, you don't mind it so much. This film had me thinking well after it had ended and saying, witches, please. And by please, I mean, please, sir, can I have some more?
Yes.
Some more Mondo.
Nice.
I loved this movie.
It was so good.
It was this kid. You know, the funny thing is I'm watching this movie.
Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, poor Murray, because I know this is not his movie. No. But as I'm watching it with my left side of my brain, I'm going, this is the movie for Bryce and I as I'm watching this movie.
Absolutely.
From the but we have to unpack one thing. There's probably a lot of things we could unpack, but the one thing I want to unpack the most.
There's a ton you could, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could literally talk about this movie probably for hours.
Yes.
There's so much in this film that just slowly unravels as this girl just goes on this journey that she knows absolutely nothing because her mother, okay, so get this. Her mother chooses to lock her in a fucking cave instead of letting her take her as a baby. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, what are you doing? She gets, at the very beginning, there's mom, there's witch, there's baby. Yep. And the mom's just like, please don't take my baby. You can have her when she's 16. And I'm like, first off, why? Yeah, and then, so what does she do? I'm going to hide her in a cave.
It doesn't really connect with her, doesn't talk to her, she can't speak.
She's just basically...
And the witch is outside watching all this happen, so she knows the baby's in there.
And she's trying to convince us that this place is going to be safe, that the witch can't get into. No, this is a holy place. There's no way the witch can get in here. What happens? Probably, I'm guessing on her 16th birthday, the witch shows up and says... Gimme.
Yep. I know.
And I'm just thinking to myself, what actually would have been a better life? I think
go with the witch
she
from the first place.
From day one, she would have been a better off. Although, you know what? We wouldn't have got to see Goran's fabulous masterpiece. Like, who makes a movie like this on their first film?
I know.
Who?
Right?
Nobody.
Just Goran.
Goran
Stilevsky.
I'm saying this now. It is my goal to get Goran on our show. If he can speak English, it's going to happen.
Name, he's not going to.
Well, I didn't screw up his name.
You both screwed it up.
It's Goran.
It's Goran. It's Stilevsky. It's fine.
It's okay. Goran, if you're listening, please come on our show. We want to interview you.
It's not Stolan Stilevsky, which I have no idea why I wrote
don't
that down.
know. But you know what?
As soon as you said Goran, I'm like, oh yeah, that's his name.
That's actually his name. Yeah, so I could have predicted this. I couldn't have predicted this. I thought Murray was going to rage.
There you go.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it a little bit.
It had Numi Rapace in it.
There you go.
The brief part that she was in it. I love her.
She was so good.
She was good in everything. All right. We had a party.
We had a cuff party.
Yes, we did.
Cuff party.
Do we not have special cuff music that we had preloaded for this, Bryce?
Oh no!
Apparently, we're still listening. We're still in cinemas.
What?
We're still in cinemas.
Where's the cuff music?
Apparently, there's no cuff music.
We don't even have our old music anymore.
Yeah, this is. You know what? This podcast is a shit show. So we were lucky enough to see a special event before it's coming out this weekend.
It's Friday,
and the movie is called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And check out, so our festival's coming up soon for those who listen to us regularly. So you can see all the fantastic movies we're going to watch at the end of April. CalgaryUndergroundFilm.org and check it out. Absolutely. Give them money. They need it. They're a small independent festival that wins awards all over the world for the best festival.
And then after you give them money, give us some money.
That's right. Buy us a movie rental and tell us to watch a terrible film.
Yes. Bryce,
tell us about Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, directed by Daniels and starring Michelle Yeoh, is not really something that can be described. It has to be seen. This story of a woman who finds herself in a battle that could determine the fate of the world is a triumph in originality. Her journey takes her on an exploration of a sort of multiverse. I'm gonna guess that the other multiverse movie we're going to see upcoming is going to be nowhere near as good as this.
Nope.
This film is creative and funny and heartwarming and exciting. The cast is also creative and funny and heartwarming and exciting. The film provides joy in its purest form. It is a sci-fi, action, dramatic, absurdist, comedic triumph. Michelle Yeoh is perfect. Perfect! And the rest of the cast is darn near perfect as well, which includes one of the most memorable performances in the entire career of Miss Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, yes.
She is so good in this. I've never seen anything like this, and I cannot recommend it enough. I don't even know, like, I could sit here and talk about it for the next 3 hours, but I won't do it justice. So I'm just going to say, experience this film for yourself. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was Mondo. Go see this film. Go see this film.
Guarantee you it's the best thing coming out this weekend, that's for sure.
I can almost guess that too. In fact, I predict it. The title of this film pretty much says it all, but at the same time says nothing close to everything that is this film. Not since seeing Amelie the first time in cinema have I seen a love story so endearing and so powerful and overwhelmingly mind-fucking like this trip I went on in this movie. The characters are deep, the humor is quick and continuous with breaks for kung fu and creativity. From the hot dog fingered lesbian lovers with piano playing toes to the ratatouille teppanyaki chef to the everything bagel and the Google eyes, this silly, crazy journey takes direct influences from a ton of films, and it's not afraid to give them their homage. This unique spin on a family love story of acceptance and understanding takes us through the weirdest and most wonderful trip to take us to the place where we don't know how and where we are going, but my soul is so much better for taking this trip. I loved every single second and frame of this film. I had no clue what was going to happen from moment one, but that's okay because I accepted the silliness and wacky multiverse without question and just enjoyed the ride. There was one moment at about 1 hour and 50 minutes in that had maybe thought, this may be starting to be a little bit long. But then it switched directions and I wish it went on for another 5 more hours. Michelle Yeoh, Stephanie C, or he, I can't pronounce it, HSE, Ki Hugh Kwan, you know, Short Round, and Data.
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis and the god of Chinese all films, James Hong, at the motherfucking age of 93, put on the best acting performance of their careers. Every single one of these actors knocked it out of the park. This film was fun. This film was silly. It was crazy. It was surprising. It was super duper. I don't say super duper very often. Everything all at once, all the time, through the entire film. And a delicious everything bagel mondo. This film, as Bryce had already said, is a film every single person on the planet should experience every day for the rest of their lives.
So good.
All right, as you mentioned, our friends at Cuff finished off their trilogy of A24 films with a sneak peek of Michelle Yeoh's latest film. Film rage was there in full effect.
Yes.
With 2/3 of the crew helping the staff with the energetic but well-behaved sold-out crowd. This film was a lot of fun. Kind of like a cross between The Matrix and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And a smattering of my favorite Free Guy. The battles were epic. Juju Chewbacca was a badass villain.
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis was also fantastic too. The original lady who has been kicking ass and punching dicks for 44 years.
Yeah.
Since Halloween in 1978.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say enough about the fabulous Michelle Yeoh, who I have loved since Tomorrow Never Dies, with my favorite Bond, Mr. Brosnan.
And my least.
And FYI, folks, she turned 60 this year. 60!
You wouldn't know.
While I enjoyed all the action and comedy in this film, it did have some dull moments.
What?
What?
And I was ready for it to be over after 90 minutes.
There is no doll.
When the end credits came up, I was completely satisfied by the finish. I thought, great movie.
Oh, that wasn't the end.
Then it went on for another hour.
Yes.
And I found myself looking at my watch every 5 minutes.
What?
I appreciate the way the filmmakers wrap things up, but I wish they had gotten there a whole lot faster.
No.
I really like this film, just not enough to give it a mondo. So it was a time-traveling, space-bending meh.
Okay. It was a little... you know what? I understand what you're saying, Murray, because there was the moment in the middle where I was going... It did start to drag a bit, but then it changed directions, and I was
Yeah, but
fine.
Bryce, you like watching movies with people walking for 3 hours.
That's because
It's
people
true.
walking is like super awesome.
Yeah, it's not. But I understand it's, again...
And the ending
I'm
was-
actually surprised you liked it as much as you
and
did,
the ending
though,
was pretty
Murray,
much
too.
predictable. You knew what was happening. I mean, as soon as they found out who the bad guy was, you knew how the movie was going to end.
Yeah, you kind of know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah, you kind of know. It's, you know what? The interesting thing is Jamie Lee Curtis in this. Imagine her joy of doing this film where she actually gets to be a villain.
Yes. And not being chased by a guy in a mask.
And also not a villain.
Yeah,
and then
she's not-
also
yeah.
someone else. Like it just, for her, you think she's usually become a little bit as a pigeonholed actor over the years.
Yeah.
And this was such a great role for her.
Escape for her, yeah.
Yeah, all the acting in this was superb. There wasn't one.
I agree. It was very well done. It was a good movie. I just didn't like it as much as Amondo.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
But yeah, you should definitely see it.
There you go.
Mondo.
We all agree it should be seen.
Yes.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet rage. Still Putin, but in addition to Putin, I'm going to rage about my favorite thing to rage about, and it's probably not going to change for this entire year.
Superhero movies.
Stop fucking making superhero movies. But in particular, Sony, please stop making superhero
Sony
movies.
should quit making them.
Just stop. Sell your portions off. You've made your money back from renting your name out to the MCU. Just let them buy the catalog. I don't think I'm going to like them anymore, but they can't be as bad as the ones that Sony puts out. Sony, just stop it. And stop making those stupid Sony plays. You know what? This is the second time I've raged about Sony and their PlayStation
This is the Sony
movies. Like, just stop doing it. Go back to making Betamax and do what you do good. Do what you do best. Make Betamax.
Video
And
games
stop
for
making
10-year-olds.
movies. Get as far away from the movies as you can. Make your Betamax. Make your Sony PlayStation 27. Whatever it is. Stick to gaming. Don't cross over. Just die. That's what I'm going to say in the movie world.
All right.
I hate everything they're doing.
I have to agree.
All right, my rage this week is Sony and Marvel wasting the potential of characters such as Venom and Morbius and watering them down to the point of frustration. These are characters that belong in a movie rated 18A. I get why Iron Man and Captain America are geared towards teenagers and adults alike, but Venom and Morbius are dark characters that should be geared toward an exclusively adult audience. Morbius and the Venom movies should have been anti-superhero horror movies, but instead, they're just more of the same drivel that Sony and Marvel continue to pump out. That's my rage.
Sounds a little similar to my rage.
Is there an echo in here?
Was there echo?
Yeah, we both watched Morbius, so...
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
This is the podcast home service. Have you been looking for a podcast with no false enthusiasm? A northerner talking you through the plot of a TV, film, or documentary series? Of course you haven't. Why would you? Welcome to Review It Yourself.
Nice. Oh, Murray, can you bring some joy to this world?
Last week, there was a lot of rage going around.
There was quite a bit.
Thanks
I
to the
loved it.
Oscars and Will Smith. This week, I thought we should spread a little love. To that end,
With everything all at once
Bruce
everywhere.
Willis.
What?
Last week,
The
the
doubted
world
Bruce Willis?
found out Mr. Willis
Oh.
was diagnosed with aphasia and was retiring from acting. Those who don't know what it is, like me, it's a disease similar to dementia and Alzheimer's. It robs you of your ability to speak, write, and understand language. It is absolutely disastrous to someone who makes her living as an actor or entertainer. Whether you love Bruce Willis's movies or not, there is no doubt he has left a memorable mark on Hollywood and the film industry. Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, Sixth Sense, 12 Monkeys, The Fifth Element, Sin City, Red, and yes, even Armageddon. Just a few of his movies that have made me the film lover that I am. Not to mention his lovely singing voice. Oh, would you like to swing on a star? Carry moonbeams
album.
home in a jar.
Yeah, the Bruce
Actually,
Willis
that was from Hudson Hawk.
Yeah. But he also put an album out.
Yes, he calls himself Bruno. Please don't judge his career by the last few movies he's put out. He clearly wasn't himself.
Last dozen movies he put out.
I'm just saying, he wasn't himself.
Yeah.
When Bruce Willis's time on the big screen is over, the action-packed and sentimental performances he gave to audiences over the 40 years will live in our minds and in our hearts. Thank you, Bruce Willis, for all these years of memorable entertainment.
Cool.
That's all I got.
Murray.
I feel bad for the
I'm
guy.
giving you a podcast hug right now.
Thank you. It's sad.
It is sad.
It is.
All right. You know what time it is? It's peanut butter jelly time. Oh, no, that's not it. It's
Is it Vader time?
It's lists time. We're going to talk about the movie we were asked to watch by the Merman last week, Father Figures, starring Christopher Walken and J.K. Simmons.
Actually, it's starring Owen Wilson
Oh,
and Ed
that's
Helms.
right. But the two mesmerized people in this film, Christopher Walken and J.K. Simmons, were in a battle to the death.
They were.
But I have a question
Yeah.
before we throw those two in under the bus. Why is Glenn Close not on our mesmerized list? Because of
Me?
Murray?
I didn't say anything.
You said no.
I think you said no.
I don't remember that.
So she can go on the list?
I don't know. I guess so.
All right.
I'm
more movies
going
than I have.
back through.
Can we add her on after we do this episode?
No.
I have another question, unrelated. Why is Michelle Yeoh on none of our lists?
That is also a good question.
But we'll discuss this first, and then we'll discuss Michelle Yeoh.
Okay, then.
Because she wasn't in this movie.
No, she
She
wasn't.
was in a movie we saw.
He was.
And we will talk about her.
All right.
Just
So.
not right now.
Okay, but we should talk about the fact that if we add Glenn Close to the mesmerized list,
She's got to go on like right now. And
Yep.
she was in the.
All right.
And she was not good in this. So.
Okay.
If anybody says that she was more mesmerizing than the other two in this particular movie, they're lying.
but her role wasn't supposed to be. Although
That's them's the breaks. Unfortunately, that's the John
It's
Carroll
true.
Lynch fell into that too.
yeah, he got iced because of
Yeah.
it. It's true. All right. Okay. Well,
So Glenn,
Apparently,
so you can have a rating
Glenn
Glenn
Close.
Close now. I don't see anybody reaching
sorry.
for their pen.
It's motherfucking Glenn Close.
I don't have a pen.
Okay, well, do we really need to do this? We should just be honest with ourselves. I will go last because I know you potentially could lie. I don't trust you. I don't
lying.
trust you either.
Trust me.
I've already
So you
written
go
it
first.
down.
I will go first.
All right.
Okay, well, J.K. Simmons was great.
Okay.
Christopher Walken was freaking awesome.
So he was mesmerizing.
Absolutely.
All right. What say you, Bryce?
This was the weakest performance of either of their careers.
Yes, I agree.
And I wrote down Walken, I guess.
You guess.
And I also said that exact same phrase. It was like the worst. It was like, could we
I
please?
enjoyed it.
Actually, I thought Owen Wilson. If we added Owen
yeah,
Wilson,
Owen Wilson was
we'd have three of them gone right now.
No, but you asked for a Christopher Walken movie, and that was
It's
that
true.
popped up.
No, no.
Okay, so
It's fair.
So, J.K. Simmons, I'm sorry,
Yes.
you shouldn't have chose to be in this movie against Christopher Walken.
he wasn't
And motherfucking Glenn Close, one of my favorite actresses
Yeah.
ever alive, made it on the mesmerized list. And now it's been removed by Christopher.
For a total of about 67 seconds.
Glenn Close was
Maybe you should
completely
have
messed.
waited till next week.
Apparently, she should all know, but then we would have had to go back and talk about this movie again.
No, you could have put her against somebody else.
She's up against. It's the way it is.
Yeah, no. As I say, this walking off. I tell you, it's
5 minutes he was in the movie. It was awesome.
I know.
I was laughing my head off.
I think we're gonna run into that over and over again. I mean, come on. If Pulp Fiction ever comes up for some reason, his scene in Pulp Fiction blows that whole movie. That movie is fantastic, but his scene in it blows everything away.
With the watch up his ass?
Yeah!
That scene?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't know.
How about him in True Romance? Is Dennis Hopper on our Mesmerized list? No.
I don't
No, he
think so.
should be, but
That is one of the great scenes ever.
except for
between-
that's not a very good movie.
No, but the scene
The
with
scene-
Dennis
oh, yeah.
Hopper and Christopher Walken
Oh, yeah.
is one of the best scenes.
It's one of the best scenes in any movie ever made. But
The movie is not great.
no, thank you.
Anyways.
Do you
All
want,
right.
Do you want the next walking off?
Yes, we
should
do.
we do the walking off, or
Of
should
course.
we do? Okay, let's.
No,
do
let's
I
keep
have
it. Let's
walking
keep
off,
the.
but you have
You're the
your
one
own.
that wants to remove everybody, so let's
Yeah,
get walking off.
Walking off.
So we're gonna
right.
do. We're
Next
gonna.
up.
Everybody, let's start walking off.
Walking off.
Say
next
that
up,
5 times.
I have At Close Range.
Oh fuck me.
Christopher Walken and Crispin Glover.
Oh.
Oh is right.
Oh. Is Crispin Glover? He's on our
He's
list.
on our list unless you guys took him off.
Oh, he's not
Oh
off.
no, there's no way he'd be off.
This is actually quite.
This
Holy
is a
crap.
this could
This
be
is
a
Clash
battle.
of the Titans here.
This is Clash of the Titans. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay,
You're welcome.
it's called.
Actually,
At Close Range.
I got to give you a lot of credit for this one, Murray, because this didn't even occur to me. But yes, At Close Range. This is.
Well, I went through his credits and I started last week with his most recent movies.
Yep.
This time I went from the bottom up.
Right.
Nice.
But
Nice.
like Deer Hunter, who else is in that on a Mesmerized? I don't think anybody else is in it.
Nobody.
Nope.
So like all these movies,
Although
that-
John Voight could potentially make it.
but all the ones he was in, he wasn't with anybody else on our list. Then I got to this one. So there you go.
I like it.
There you
Murray, as usual,
Kudos,
you are
Murray.
a god. All right. So this has been a bad week for J.K. Simmons
Yep.
and motherfucking Glenn Close.
Yep. But
It's been a good week for Christopher Walken. But the question of Michelle Yeoh has come
Michelle
up.
Yeoh.
What are we? Are we
I-
looking? Well, we should go and see whether or not she can make it on
I haven't seen anything bad.
the undoubted list first.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Well, let's find
bring up
out.
the movies. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop.
Dum 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 dum. All right, so
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh,
Last 8.
You got to pan rate this shit down, buddy. Okay, so the last movie she was in was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was a mondo for you and I, and it was a meh for Murray. So this may stop her from being undoubted, because if Murray, what did you give Shang-Chi in The Legend of the Ten Rings?
Same. It was meh.
Then she is she has
off.
to start all over again. Okay,
Alright,
well,
that was quick.
That was
But-
quick, but
Gunpowder
I think we can all agree that she's mesmerizing.
Yes.
Murray?
Yes, absolutely. That's
All
what I was
right.
going for.
Well, we have to rule them out on all fronts, Murray. So we start with Undoubted, because that's a bigger list to be on.
It is. That is
It
the
is
pinnacle.
it is the
baby.
pinnacle of anything film. Of anything. If you win an Oscar,
It's not as good as
but
being on
it's
the
not
Undoubted
being
list.
as good as being on our Undoubted
No.
list. And I'm just saying
It's
that.
not even close.
Not even close.
It's easy to win an Oscar. It's hard to be on the Undoubted
It's very
list.
hard to be on the Undoubted list. It's true.
It
This
is.
is just silly.
Okay, should we just quickly talk about who's on our Undoubted list so the people realize? And you know, the Oscars have been around for like 100 years.
Yeah. There's like, what is there, like
Want to take a guess?
30,000 Oscar winners?
Yeah,
How many
probably more than that.
How many
Probably
people on the
100,000.
Undoubted list?
Okay, so
Like 10?
the Undoubted list currently:
Yeah.
Paul P.T. Anderson,
Yes.
Wes Anderson,
Yes.
everyone with the name Anderson, Michael Shannon,
Yep.
Noah Baumbach,
Yes.
Tom Hardy,
Yep.
Michael Cera,
Yep.
Chan-wook Park,
Yes.
David Cronenberg,
Yep.
John Hawkes,
Yep.
Hirokazu Kurita,
Yep.
Christopher Nolan,
Yep.
Guillermo del Toro,
Yep.
and Sally Hawkins,
Yep.
Denis Villeneuve, Alfred Hitchcock, Ryan Gosling, Michael Stuhlbarg, and Emma Stone.
Wow, there's 18.
Yeah,
That's more than I thought.
it's still pretty good. I mean,
That is-
who has... Although, are we seeing a Gosling film coming up here?
I don't know. Is he in something? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I started following the other Ryans, so I haven't really been following Gosling's career recently.
You're not. Yeah, you're a bigger fan of the other.
I like them both, but yeah, he did that La La Land, so he kind of went all Hollywood on me.
The other Ryan Kruger?
Reynolds.
Ryan
thank you very
Reynolds,
much.
please.
Oh.
Whoa, he hasn't been in. He's not been in much lately.
No, he has been
No.
around. He's married to one of the Evas, I think.
Yeah, he's got 7 things coming up though,
There you
so
go.
we have a lot to look forward to.
It'll be awesome.
Maybe.
Unless he gets punted, because maybe he'll make a rage.
All right, then. Last time on Rage or Dare, Jim and Bryce pulled the tasty treat Hollywood Homicide from my ice bucket of rage. This week, Bryce is back in the hot seat when he gets the pure joy of pulling from Jim's sweet bag of torture.
I feel like I'm doing this every week.
You can pull my bag
I
of
think you're
torture
wrong.
every week.
Let's first check in with Bryce and see if Harrison Ford still has it, or is it the right decision for Kylo Ren to help him retire early?
What do you mean still has it? This movie's like 30 years old. What are you talking about?
I'm saying Kylo Ren, should he have retired him like he did in that terrible? I also
You're making no sense
Just
anymore.
to FYI, we have to talk about Harrison Ford next week.
We do?
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we should.
He's getting too old to be in movies? Is that what you're
Apparently, he may be too old.
Oh,
He was in the last 2 Star Wars movies, which were both rages.
And he was in Call of the Wild, which was a major rage.
There you go. So there could be a lot going on there.
There could be, now that you bring it up.
Yeah, we
That
got to
is-
talk
that
about
is
him
a-
next week.
Let's not forget
But
the new Indiana
that's
Jones.
next
Oh,
week.
God, yeah, don't remind me of that.
That's next week. This week we're talking Hollywood Homicide. Spoiler alert, Hollywood Homicide is not great.
The hell you say?
It is one of a million buddy cop movies and does not stand out from the pack. Still, there are not too many buddy cop movies that were that bad. For the most
What?
part, they end up being at least mildly entertaining.
No.
And that is the case once again with Hollywood Homicide. Harrison Ford as a full-time cop and part-time real estate agent was good for a couple of laughs. Josh Hartnett as a full-time cop and aspiring actor had his moments as well. There was a lot of dumb stuff in this, as is the case with most of these types of movies. But the characters were just entertaining enough to keep this from being a rage. It was a buddy cop movie, so it was meh.
Yeah, that's not what I think of buddy
Who
cop
are you
movies.
and what have you done with Bryce?
No,
I laughed.
he has certain subsectors.
Are we
which
talking to Bruce?
He's got his Josh Hartnett glasses on.
Oh, is that
Just
it?
like we had our Sandra Oh glasses on.
He is
He
Josh
had his
Hartnett.
Josh
Josh
Hartnett.
Hartnett.
Does
glasses.
nothing for me.
He does. You love him.
I love me some Harrison Ford, and yeah, even this was bad.
All right,
Shouldn't
so-
done
It
this.
was all right.
So 15 minutes into this film, and I'm not too sure what this movie is.
It's a comedy.
But then by the end of the
buddy
movie,
cop movie.
I was still confused. Is this a comedy? No.
Yep.
Although I think they attempted some humor.
Yeah.
Is it a drama? No, it's not that relevant either.
But there is some dramatic sequences.
No, there's not really. I didn't find any drama in it. At least none that I could see. Is this an action film?
Yes.
Not really. I didn't really see any action. Although watching Harrison Ford trying to run was kind of interesting.
He looked like an Olympic athlete compared to Liam Neeson in that piece of crap we saw recently.
No, I think they looked about the same. It's probably the
You
same body.
are-
It was
are
probably
you
the.
high?
I am a little high, but
Okay.
but at the same time, it looked the same. They had the same body double doing the running stunts.
Anyways, I'll stop.
But there were
interrupting.
2 lead characters.
Yes.
2 plus 0 chemistry equals 0. No, it's 2 lead characters
Times
0
is 0.
equals 0. And if you add them together, you still get -0.
Smidge of chemistry.
There was no. This was.
Just a smidge.
They both seemed like they were equal parts at 50% of their talent and effort. Y'all know I like Josh Hartnett, but this was bad. I can't even explain the level of dumb in this movie. Plus the music, other than the original R&B stuff, was so canned, I thought it was, oh, wait a minute, a made-for-TV cop movie. So I guess that fits. When Martin Landau finally shows up,
Yes.
I'm so embarrassed for him. I feel bad, because if it weren't for the fantastic film Remember, then he was pretty much, this movie forward, would have been a candidate for the doubted list. And having him, the only person on our doubted list that can never get himself off, would have broken my heart. Between the real estate sales with Harrison Ford and the yoga classes and acting from Joshi, I'm still confused what this film was actually about. Bryce, can you please?
Yes, I can.
Can you please tell me what was this movie about? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what this movie was.
It was about buddies. They were buddies.
And
they were solving crimes.
There was
solving crimes like only buddies can do.
There was not one. You did not get the impression that either one of these people even liked each other, let alone be buddies in this movie.
There was some gentle ribbing that goes along with being a buddy.
This was literally the worst buddy cop movie I think I've ever seen. No, I saw Double Team.
Yeah,
that was better than this.
No, it was pretty good.
But I do know one thing. Yeah. This is a reason, as I mentioned before, we need to talk about Harrison Ford for the potential doubted list. Oh,
this
yes.
This wasn't in his last 8, was it?
I don't know. I hope it was, because I want him off. After watching this movie, I want him on a list of some type.
It was
if not doubted, then perhaps repulsive.
So your final rating is meh, though, right?
No. Oh, I also forgot the back and forth.
Yes.
Of the two of them.
Yeah. It's good.
With different sex scenes, which was always entertaining.
Yeah.
They would show Josh Hartnett having sex, and then they would show Harrison Ford having sex, and then they would show Josh Hartnett having sex, and then they'd show Harrison Ford having sex. It was like, I felt like I'm watching Miami Vice again, because it was like going from one sex scene to another. The only thing that was missing was the shower scenes, and we were watching Miami Vice, is really what it was.
How did they not just take his cell phone away when they were questioning him?
There was no.
They kept on just putting it on the table, and he kept on picking it up.
How can you? Yeah, this movie was so terrible. It had nothing to do with anything with the cops. Like, there's no possible way either one of these could have been cops.
They was buddies.
No.
According to the description, one of them was a real estate agent. The other one was an actor.
Yeah.
So it's like, where did the cop come in?
There was only one good scene in this.
They were full-time cops, but he was a part-time real estate agent and a part-time actor.
They have time to have a second job.
Yes. And have sex. But
there
was one scene in this movie. Cops. There was one good scene in this movie, and that's when Harrison Ford had his porn star cop sunglasses on, and he was having anal with his girlfriend. Yes, that was the only good scene in this movie. Well, maybe it wasn't that good.
In your mind?
It's still a rage. No, there was a scene. He's wearing his cop glasses and he's giving her anal, and then they cut to, I think, Josh Hartnett at the time having sex with his girlfriend.
So this is a family movie.
Any family that sees this would be traumatized, and not just for the children. Any mother, any father, any grandfather, any niece, any cousin that watches this movie together will be traumatized. This movie was awful.
It was meh.
Now who's giving out candy?
Exactly.
I can't believe you liked anything. I dare you to see Life of David Gale. I liked Life of David Gale more than I liked this movie.
Stop it with the Life of David Gale.
It's not as bad as you think, buddy.
Oh, it is poopy.
We have seen a lot worse. I can guarantee we've seen a lot worse.
No.
I just want to get Kevin Spacey on our Mesmerized list.
I know you do.
I want to see him up against Christopher Walken. All right, guess what you got to do next week? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you do. All right, take a little one. The little ones are tastier. Oh, you've unpacked one here.
I see one unpacked.
Anything.
There, that's a tasty treat. You should probably pick that one.
little ones are tastier, are they?
They are. They're little, got crunchy bits in them.
Here we go.
Juice just
All
squirts
right.
out of them.
I have plucked one out of your stank bag,
Yes, you have.
and I have no idea what this is.
Let's have it.
I've never heard of it. Simon Says.
Oh, yes.
Spelled S-E-Z.
Simon.
Sounds like a
Or
rapper.
for you people in Yankee Land, the United States of America, I should say.
This stars my
S-E-Z.
favorite. This stars one of my favorite actors, Dennis Rodman, with Dane Cook,
Really?
John Pinette,
God.
Ricky Harris.
I love John Pinette.
How did two
Yep.
Dennis Rodman movies get into...
What do you know?
Huh. Simon
But
Says.
this time,
Who's Simon?
Tell me
Dennis
Rodman.
Dennis Rodman Simon?
Oh yeah,
Excellent. This'll
it's
be
his
good.
starring role.
He's an Interpol agent.
Oh, good.
That's right.
I'll buy that.
I'd buy that for $1.
I am actually really looking forward to this. I didn't know this movie existed. I love when we get a movie that I didn't know existed.
I saw this in cinemas.
Very nice. I did not. But I am about to
See it
hopefully-
on a 90-inch screen in your
Yeah.
with surround sound.
Yeah, it's
in
only
your home.
77.
This week was so successful.
You think?
I never want it to end. Wow, thanks, Rachel, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family. You know who you are. And you can find them in our show notes. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for our listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, please, please make us rage. Please. That's it for this week. Rage on. Rage on.